Educational leadership. Educational leadership introduction, need and scope of educational leadership, historical perspective of educational leadership, future of educational leadership globally, educational leadership in Pakistan pre and post independence. Education. Education in general sense is a form of learning in which the knowledge, skills and habits of a group of people are transferred from one generation to next generation through teaching, training or research. A process of acquiring knowledge and delivering to others. Knowledge is an awareness of self and surroundings. Self-awareness is a process of knowing about personal potentials, faculties, dreams and desires. Knowing surrounding with its realities, structures, requirements, usage and its relationship to self is knowledge. School educational leadership. School leadership is the process of enlisting and guiding the talents and energies of teachers, pupils and parents towards achieving common educational aims. School leadership often used in USA and has replaced educational management in the United Kingdom and school management in Pakistan. Several institutions throughout the world order graduate degrees in educational leadership. Introduction to educational leadership. Leadership is defined as any activities tied to the core work of organization that are designed by organizational members to influence the motivation, knowledge, effect or practices of other organization members. Supply in 2006. The same concept is applied in educational leadership by engaging people in operational activities and make the implementation process dynamic. Introduction to educational leadership. Leaders equip their team, inspire talent pool by value adding in teaching, training and decision making. It provides a healthy effect on organization culture and environment. In diverse and heterogeneous society in of new millennium, organizational need is also characterized and influenced by internal and external crises that create conflict. These circumstances should be dealt humanistically rather than scientifically. Need and scope of educational leadership. Our priority in education to enhance standard of life is based on three components: access, quality, relevance. In this struggling situation, only educational leaders such as policymakers, educational experts, school principals and teachers are equipped to handle a complexity of a system and understand changing reform that lead to sustainable improvement. NEP 2009. Leaders born or made. Good leaders are made, not born. Effective leaders desire and willpower through a never-ending process of self-study, education, training and experience. To inspire your workers into higher level of teamwork, you must be know and do. These do not come naturally but are required through continual work and study. Good leaders continually improve their leadership skills. They are not resting on their achievements. Leadership styles. A leadership way of providing direction, implementing plans and motivating people. Different situations, however, call for different leadership styles. Autocratic leadership style may be most effective in an emergency with little time on an agreement and where designated authority has more experience or expertise. However, in a highly motivated and aligned team with a homogeneous level of expertise, a more democratic, fair style may be more effective. The style adopted should be the one most effectively achieves the objective balancing the interest of its members. Influence of educational leadership in national perspective. In Pakistan, the policy of national unity and observation of the Islamic standard is being disseminated to express the identity. The educational leadership follows the same philosophy to form the learning strategies in which the knowledge, skills, and disposition would generate among the individuals. Influence of educational leadership in national perspective. In March 1944, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah said, "Islam is our guide and complete code of life. What we want is not to talk about Bengal, Punjabi, Sindhi, Baloch, Pathan and so on. We are nothing but Pakistani. Now it is our duty to act like Pakistani." Types of leadership styles in education. Leadership styles were introduced to address the needs of the students from diverse backgrounds. Three different types of styles commonly practiced are hierarchical, transformational, facilitative. Influence of educational leadership in economic perspective. The purpose of education was identified by West Burham in 2003 as to enhance the personal, social, cultural, ethical, and spiritual development of every person. To prepare people to play an active part in community, to develop the potential to be employable, to maximize life chance through academic success, to create a tolerant society, to design a career-oriented territory. The National Science Curriculum 2006 has formed these objectives to keep future generation, prepare students to critically address social, economical, ethical and environmental issues related to science and technology, develop varying aptitudes, interests and the knowledge of wide variety of careers related to science, technology and environment. Historical perspective of educational leadership. The leaders understand the requirements and advocate the global advancement in educational and technical field is only possible by re-engineering the curricula as well as using the concept of outsourcing and prioritizing the plan to cooperate the business. Education is a social instrument for leaders through which they guide people, visualize their destiny, and shape future of the nation. They are the founder of the socio-economic in the development and have a skill both the literature and skilled citizen to play a pivotal role in the development of country. Historical perspective of educational leadership. Various interpretations of the concept of educational leadership are found in the literature relating to their societies, religions and cultures. All have acknowledged the development of self to get high status of knowledge and wisdom. During the golden age of Islam empire from 10th to 13th centuries, when the Islamic scholarship flourished with an impressive openness to the rational sciences, art and even literature. They had shown their contribution in the areas of chemistry, botany, physics, mineralogy, mathematics and astronomy as many Muslim thinkers regarding scientific truth as tools for assessing religious truth. Generally, from the ages, the educational leaders are concerned to promote education by four main reasons. Egalitarian need for equality and opportunity for all, economic, prepare for future competency and skill in the workplace, civic, educate citizens who can participate in public life, humanistic, develop the whole person for lifelong education. In America, In the 18th century, the requirements was increased and educated people opened private schools, while in 19th century the stability of government policies motivated the leaders to take the responsibilities of child education and gave the vision of public schools. The progressive period of 1920s and 30s gave the concept of separate department of education. Law for public school financing, school personnel and curriculum, afterwards health and public safety were added. The leaders of post-era 1957 to 1980 put educational reforms in hands of scientists. They formed policies for scientific and technical education. In 1980s, many reforms were for human resource, enhancing skill, industrial abilities, staff development and training. In Pakistan, a right to education has been recognized by every leader for survival and growth of national stability. It was forcefully implemented after an Article 13, the right of everyone to an education. MDGs 2015 and SDGs 2030 approved at UNSDS United States Sustainable Development Summit on 25th December 2015 are another challenging areas for educational leaders. Future of educational leadership globally. Education is the most important element for human progress and prosperity. It provides skills and knowledge for two important purposes. Number one, to prepare an individual for a vocation and to prepare him with an environment in which he can develop a sound personality. Rahman, 1999, page 9. The formal institutions, schools, colleges, universities primarily provide a wider range of advancement in education that enhance the progress of the society, while the non-formal institutions, media, distance learning institutions provide the supplementary support of formal institutions as well as play an important role in reducing the social and economic pressure on the society. Future of educational leadership globally. Number one, more focus on vertical development. Number two, transfer of greater developmental ownership to the individual. Number three, greater focus on collective rather than individual leadership. Number four, much greater focus on innovation in leadership development methods. Number five, educational leadership for community development. Number six, educational leadership for lifelong learning. Educational leadership in Pakistan pre and post independence. In Indo-Pakistan subcontinent, the Mughal Empire 1526 to 1857 had a great contribution in education and cultural development. The principal reforms for which Sher Shah is remembered are those connected with revenue administration. He set up a revenue collection system based on the measurement of land. Akbar's Mansabdari system became the basis of the Mughal military organization and civil administration. The era of Akbar was a period of renaissance of Persian literature like Abu Fazl's Akbarnama and Akbar. The Mughal horticultural style began as a definite movement under his rule. It was also a period of Sufis for religious innovations and to revive Islam. The name of Sheikh Ahmad Mujaddid Al-Afsani, Qazi Mullah Muhammad of Jaunpur, Qazi Mir Yaqub of Bengal were famous by their teaching of prophethood and explaining the inadequacies of human intellect. Muslim education in subcontinent was centered on maktabs, mosques, khanqahs, madaris, and private house for an informal transmission of knowledge. The madrasa was considered the center of higher learning. Educational leadership in education pre and post independence. Under the Aurangzeb rule, the borders of the Mughal Empire spread out further than ever before. Gul Badan Begum's Humayunama, Jahangir autobiography, Tuske Jahangiri, Abdul Hamid Lahori, and Anayat Khan Shah Jahanama are some of the examples of Mughal literature in the later period of Shah Jahan era. But later on, no particular reforms were made in the administrative policies of the Mughal, and influence of British merchants was increased in the administrative matter. It was difficult for Muslim leaders to hold the empire together, and last in 1614 the British East India Company opened its first office in Bombay. Additionally, Mughal promoted madrasa system in subcontinent, having two parallel streams of education. The revealed knowledge of mankulat or ulumul nakaliya and intellectual sciences makulat or ulumi akliya. The specialists of the former were known as ulama, while those of the latter were known as danishmans. The curricula varied from one madrasa to another. The madrasa of Farangi Mahal in Lucknow was founded in 1693. Here the students were taught sarf, nahw, mantiq, hikmat, hisab, balagha, fiqh, sharia, kalam, usul fiqh, tafsir, hadith. Muslim educational leaders Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan from 1817 to 1898 worked for Muslim education through Aligarh movement. Dr.